Barbara to tell people that Ryan's favorite color was purple. That was another of his requests, that the guests would wear purple or their own favorite colors. He wanted a party, wanted us to put the fun in funeral. Barbara hadn't been amused when he'd said that. I'd thought it was admirable. He'd faced death like it was nothing more than a trip to the dentist. At least up until the very end. Everyone is turned toward the aisle. Some look at the box of ashes, some at me. Most don't seem to know where to look, and a few, toward the outer edges of the nave, look down. It's a pious pose, but I wonder if they're texting. In my lavender suit, I feel like a rogue thistle on a manicured lawn. Not to mention the fact that my legs feel naked since I haven't worn a skirt in ages. But Mom said no pants, another one of her rules. I'd needed to go out and get something purple anyway, but I don't know where my head was when I let Mom talk me into this suit. So far, I've noticed very few splashes of color. Jeffrey wears a purple silk tie. Mom hides her neck, which she hates, under a gauzy plum-colored scarf. My best friend Mirabella's mauve wrap covers her black sheath dress. I saw Uncle Graham and Aunt Sugar before the service, so I know, true to form, they are dressed alike. Bless them, with violet button-down shirts under navy blazers. So there are only 6 of us wearing purple, the 5 people I mentioned it to personally and myself. Nice of Barbara to ignore Ryan's only other request. I should have been more involved with this. Since my sweet beagle, Barnum, got sick 2 weeks after Ryan died, I've been running between the vet, the hospital, and 5 days ago, the pet cemetery. I've been an incoherent mess this week and consequently haven't been up to helping Barbara with the final plans for today. I don't know if she's irritated with me about that or happy. Probably a bit of both. I'm sure she wanted me and my pushing for things like people wearing purple out of the way, but she still wants to complain that she's had to handle everything. At any rate, I'm glad she decided against a full Mass. We'll be celebrating a funeral liturgy outside Mass. She'd reported to me on the phone one day, since so many of the guests aren't Catholic or don't practice. I figured that was a dig at me, but then Ryan didn't practice either, although I suppose she thinks that was due to my influence. I'm surprised but relieved about her choice. The funeral's going to be difficult enough to get through. At least it'll be relatively short. We reach the table that stands below the altar steps and Jeffrey sets the box down. Its burnished lid glows under the soft lights. Barbara drapes her rosary over the box, and I set the framed photo beside it, turning it out toward Ryan's gathered friends and family. We take our seats in the front pews. Mom and I on the left with my aunt and uncle, Jeffrey and Barbara on the right with her sister. Father Llewellyn, a jowly man under a white robe and purple stole, at least he's in purple, says an opening prayer. He sums up that we're here to mourn the passing of Ryan Jeffrey Waynesfield. As if we could forget. During the first reading, I hear Barbara sob when Uncle Graham gets to the line, "A time to be born, a time to die." I look at the box with Ryan's ashes. A tear scalds my cheek. My thoughts creep toward the night Ryan died. His nails, brittle from the chemo, on the back of my hand. How his jaw hung slack. The way the hideous pale pink lampshade on his nightstand painted a mockingly healthy glow on his face. I think of the things he said to me, and the things he tried to say but couldn't. I've relived that night so many times. Did I give him too much morphine? Did I deny the man his final say? God, I don't want to think about that night. I force myself back to the present and look at the altar, which is empty, waiting for the next reader. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Jeffrey move. It's time for the eulogy. Jeffrey walks at a measured pace.